Hi everyone. This is my 20 question tag video, and I was tagged by Bonnie of Bonbons Halls. So let me get busy answering those 20 questions for you so you can get to know me a little bit better. First of all, my name is Susan, and this is my channel, Shopping with Sue, and welcome to all of you, especially my new subscribers. And don't forget, I'm having a giveaway right now, so I'm going to close down the giveaway Saturday night at midnight. So if you want to participate in the giveaway, you can either comment on this video or on my giveaway video and just put the comment yes exclamation point, and I will enter you in the giveaway. I'm going to give away 5 things because it's my 50 subscriber giveaway, so I'm very excited. Anyway, on to the questions. So the first question, now I didn't see a list of the questions. I went back and listened very carefully to Bonnie's video again, and I only got 19 questions that I could hear. So at the end, I added a 20th question of my own. Okay, so let's start with the first question, which is, what does your name mean? My name is Susan, and it means, it's a Hebrew origin, and it means wild rose. It's a kind of a flower. I know my mom named me Susan because when she was a teenager, her best friend died of encephalitis, and her name was Susan, so she named me after her. And I'm the oldest child in my family, so that's my name. Where are you from? I am from Ohio. I was very excited to see that Tony from Creative Chica is from Ohio originally also. I never would have guessed that. But because of your accent now, Tony, you have that southern accent. But anyway, I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I grew up there. I was not born there. I'll tell you that in a minute. But I lived there from age 2 to age 18. I grew up there, and it was a great place to grow up, but I couldn't wait to get out of there once I got older. It was just really boring. And especially once I came to the tri-state area here, New York, New Jersey, I fell in love with this area. So I go back to Ohio sometimes to visit family, but I don't miss it. Anyway, number 3, where were you born? That's an interesting story. I actually was born in Alabama, believe it or not, Montgomery, Alabama. But it was because both of my parents worked for Bell Labs, which is now AT&T, and they were transferred all over the country. I'm not sure what my mom did for them. My dad was an electrical engineer. But anyway, they were in Montgomery for a year, and I was born there, and then they moved to California for a year, and then they settled eventually in Ohio. So that's where I was born. So I don't think they would have stayed in Montgomery, but anyway, it's always a kind of interesting story. Number 4, what would your parents have named you if you were another gender? I have no clue. It's not a question I ever asked them, and unfortunately, both my parents have passed. My father passed about 2 years ago, and my mother passed, wow, it's been a long time, about 12, 14 years ago. So there are certain things you just don't think to ask your parents. If you are younger, ask your parents those questions because it's too late for me now, but to ask them, but I have no idea. I had boy and girl names for all 3 of my children, but I don't know what they had. I have 3 girls, by the way. They're grown, and they are, I can't believe how old they are already. 28, 29, and 31, I think. It's so funny how much you pay attention to your kids' ages when they're little, and then once they're grown up, you're like, I know approximately. Anyway, and I live in New Jersey, in northwestern New Jersey. Now, with no traffic, it takes me about an hour to get into New York City. 2 of my daughters live in New York City, and one of them moved back home a while ago because she is going to school to she's taken some prerequisite courses to then apply to nursing school. So anyway, so that was all related to that gender question. I have no clue. Okay, number 5. What's your biggest accomplishment? Well, I guess that depends if you're asking personally or professionally. Professionally, my biggest accomplishments are that I won a couple of national teaching awards some years back, so that was really cool. But, when it comes down to it, I always think the most important thing that you can do is, if you have children, is to raise, good human beings. And so my 3 daughters, I have to say they are my greatest accomplishment. They really are. They're good human beings, and that's really what it's all about. They care about other people, and that was something that I taught them when they were young, and I'm happy to see that they really are. They're pretty awesome. Very proud of them. So those girls of mine would be my biggest accomplishment. Number 6, what's your eye color? Well, yeah, take off the glasses. Ooh, brown. I always hated my eye color, but it was really interesting because when I'm divorced now, but when I was married and we had our 3 girls, we both had brown eyes, and our first child had brown eyes, but our second and third girls had green eyes, bluish greenish eyes. It was quite a surprise, and we found out that we each had a grandparent with blue/green eyes, so that was pretty cool. I never thought I'd have kids with different color eyes, but anyway. Okay, number 7. What's your favorite candle scent? I don't like candles. I don't like them. If you send them to me, I will open them up and smell them and enjoy them, but I don't burn candles. I have like a fear of fire, and not like a phobia. I don't know. Maybe it's a past life thing. I do believe in that kind of thing. So I don't burn candles. But I guess my favorite scent would be apple cinnamon. That is just one of my favorite smells. I just love it. Let's see. Number 8, can you cook? Yes, I can cook. Do I cook? No, not that, now that the girls are out of the house. I mean, like I said, I have one living here, but I never see her. I just never see her. She is 29, and she's always taking classes, and she works full time. It's amazing when you're young what you can do compared to when you're older. She does shift work at a hospital in the ER. She does intake, and she works 10, 12-hour shifts, so we're like ships passing in the night. So I don't cook much anymore because it's just me. So, but yes, I can cook, and I'm a good cook. I'm not the best cook in the world, but I'm a really good cook. But I prefer baking. My mom taught me to bake when I was a little kid, so I have always enjoyed baking. That's my strength. That's my forte. Number 9, what is good about your life right now? Well, that's kind of a hard question. I think I'm going to leave the glasses off because you could see my eyes that way. Normally, I would have said, I'm really content in my life, but since I just lost my dog, Charlie, a week and a half ago, when you have a loss, it makes it hard to focus on what's good in your life. But I've been trying to do that this week. I'm going to try not to cry. Charlie was a greyhound. I had him for 10 years. He was 12 years old. He was a rescue from one of the racetracks. Greyhound racing it's just an abomination what they do to those dogs, and they just kill them when they're done with them. But anyway, now a lot of people adopt them, and I had 5 greyhounds over the years, and Charlie was my last greyhound. So when the other dogs had passed away, I always had 2 greyhounds at a time, but Charlie was my last one, so it's really lonely here. I'll be okay, but it's just really hard. So it's hard to focus on what's good in my life right now, but I was doing that a day or 2 ago. I was thinking about it, and I thought, okay, Charlie's not here, but my life is still very good. I I'm a preschool teacher and I love my job, and I don't make a lot of money, but I'm really, really grateful. My sister and I always have that debate because she makes a lot of money at her job, but she hates it. And I don't make a lot of money at my job, but I love it. So, what's better? As long as I can put food on the table and clothes on my back and have the electricity stay on and have my cable, I think I'm doing pretty well. So, even though Charlie passed, I am content with my life. And I think that's the realization I came to when I was really thinking about it a couple days ago. I'm very lucky. You know, I'm getting older, but in spite of that, I'm still in good health. In spite of being overweight, I'm still in good health. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful every day. I'm grateful for the roof over my head, even though we were always homeowners, but you know, since my divorce, I've been renting, and that's kind of a new experience for me for the last few years. But I've got a roof over my head. I can pay my bills. I've got my health. I've got my 3 girls. Thank God they're doing well. I don't see them as often as I would like, but I'm very grateful that they're doing well. My oldest daughter is married and just had a baby 2 months ago, so I have a new grandson. And he is like the joy of my life now, especially since Charlie passed. And so I have a lot of good things in my life. And I'm just going through this grieving process right now. But once I'm through this, and even, you know, even while I'm going through it, I am very grateful for my life. And I have a lot of good things happening in my life. So I know it's a long, complicated answer, but it is a little complicated right now. So normally I would say, oh, my life is just so good. It's, you know, but I'll get back there. I'll get back there. All right, I'm looking at the questions here. Number 10, what's your sign? I'm a Leo, right on the cusp of Virgo. So I'm a leader, but one of the questions coming up is whether you're an introvert or extrovert. I'm an introvert, and so it's kind of hard to be a leader when you're an introvert, but like I said, I love to be in charge. I always say to everybody I'm a bossy pants, but I've learned over the years to really listen to other people and not try and be a bossy pants. You know, to be a leader is to be a leader is good, but you know, compromise is important too. So I have a lot of very strong characteristics of my personality. I do believe astrology affects us to some degree, but I don't live my life by it. So anyway, yes, I'm a Leo with some attributes of Virgo because of where my birthday falls. Okay, let's see what the next... Oh, what scares you the most about aging? So I think that's a very interesting question because, you know, when you're in your 20s or your 30s, I think your answer is going to be very different than when you're in your 50s. And I just, you know, I was watching Bonnie's answers to her questions, and she was saying she was afraid of losing her memory. Well, I'm not afraid of that because I saw my father go through Alzheimer's, and it's a really terrible thing to see. And it's sad, but when you're the person losing your memory, you don't know. You don't know. So I hope that doesn't happen to me, but that's not my biggest fear. My biggest fear about aging is, and it's not the wrinkles and the gray hair and all that. Actually, I color my hair, so I'm not going to be going gray anytime soon, really. But and the wrinkles, I don't know, kind of getting used to them. It's not such a bad thing. But I think what I'm most scared about is becoming ill and not being able to take care of myself. Much more than losing my memory. That's just me. That's just me. You know, everyone has different fears. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm not afraid of when the end comes. I'm an extremely spiritual person. And I believe that there is so much more than this. And I believe that we've all been here before so many times. And that there is a plan, that God has a plan for each and every one of us. So I'm not afraid of dying. And I just know there's something more. But it's how you get there. It's like how ill you're going to become, or I'm going to become, or am I going to have to go into a home, and am I going to be in pain? That's the kind of stuff I worry about. So, but I basically try not to worry. I just kind of try and take it one day at a time, and just not even worry about it, because it's pretty much out of our control. So, anyway, okay. Number 12, what's your favorite holiday? Well, I really love Halloween, but I have to say, it's not as much fun as it was when I had little kids. It was just so much more fun when I had younger kids. And I really love Thanksgiving because I love that the family really tries to get together. And I say tries because once your kid gets married, it's a lot more complicated. And where are they going to spend, who are they going to be with for Thanksgiving? But I think my real favorite holiday is Hanukkah. I am Jewish, so I do not celebrate Christmas. There may be some people who are Jewish who celebrate Christmas, but I don't. So I love the idea of Christmas, and it's really beautiful, and sometimes I wish I did, but it's just not my holiday to celebrate. So Hanukkah is really my favorite holiday. When my girls were little, my husband used to say, "Oh, you're making it a Jewish Christmas." And I'd say, well, most of their friends celebrate Christmas, so what difference does it make if they get lots of presents? And it's fun celebrating every night for 8 nights. It's fun lighting the candles on the menorah. I love decorating for Hanukkah. I do put up lights, but I put up blue and white lights instead of red and green lights. And I put up, I think I have a light up menorah that I put in the window because I want to say, hey, not just people who celebrate Christmas put up lights, other people do too. So I love the foods that we eat during Hanukkah. It's just such an awesome, awesome holiday. Now, when I'm in the Dollar Tree, I always keep wishing that they would carry Hanukkah stuff. I don't think they ever will, because I used to wonder about that, but I think it's because, their stores are pretty uniform in what they put out. And if they put Hanukkah stuff in every store, it just wouldn't make sense for them financially, because there's some areas there just aren't very many Jewish people living there. So, but I always do look at the Christmas stuff. Like I did pick up that Let It Snow sign, because for me that's not Christmassy. It's just, winter. I love winter. So, but I'm enjoying seeing everybody's Christmas hauls. I love all the red truck stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh. I wish I could buy that. I mean, I could buy it, but, it doesn't make sense for me. But anyway, but please do send me a Christmas card when it comes to be that time of year. I just love cards. I don't care what people send me. So, but that is my favorite holiday. Okay, let's see. Number 13. Oh boy, I better move along here. What's the current show you binge watched? The most recent show I binge watched was Jane the Virgin, and I loved it. I did it during the summer. I am off during the summers, and oh wow. I mean, it took me like a month to binge watch it because there were so many episodes, but I loved it. But my current favorite TV shows are 911. I love that show. And The Resident. I find those are two of the most fun, exciting shows to watch right now. Okay, let's see. Keep going. Let's keep going. I'll speed up a little bit. What item can you not leave the house without? My phone. My phone, of course. I think everybody's going to say that. A few weeks ago, I left my phone at home. I didn't mean to. I went to work without it. And it was like, ah! I said to my coworkers, I said, I'm going old school today without a phone. Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. Anyway, okay, next question. Number 15, are you a morning person or a night owl? I'm a night owl. I am forced to be a morning person because that's my job. People don't go to school at night when they're little kids. They go to school in the morning. So I get up, but I hate that alarm. Oh, I just don't think mornings should exist, frankly. And during the summers when I'm off, it's just like my natural body rhythm. It just flips into night mode, and I could just sleep all day and be up all night, and I just feel more energetic at night. Definitely a night owl. But I do function as a morning person, and a morning person who doesn't drink coffee, so that is challenging. I Coffee's okay. It's just not my thing. Okay, number 16. What's your favorite genre of movie? Okay, so I have to agree with Bonnie that it needs to be a tie. So for me, yes, I love the Pixar movies and some of the animated movies. I find them really fun and funny and just really, sometimes if I just want to watch something calming, I find them really nice and calming. But I guess I just equally as much love superhero movies. The Avengers. Oh my gosh, my favorite. My favorite. One of the kids at school, he has a Justice League lunchbox, and he's like, well, I like Justice League. And I say, well, I like Batman, but Spider-Man's my favorite. So it's got to be the Avengers. All those Avengers movies, so good. And also, I do like some of the Justice League movies, but a superhero movie, that's what I enjoy the most. And the Pixar. Okay, so number 17. Okay, we're getting there. What was the last thing you bought? It's food. Well, I'm all about food. It was these, they sell in Walmart these iced cookies, and they taste like a piece of cake. They're just so delicious. But my local supermarket has some like those that taste like cotton candy. Cotton candy is one of my favorite flavors, and they call them unicorn cookies, and I don't particularly love unicorns and mermaids, but they have rainbow icing on them with sprinkles, and they taste like cotton candy. I mean, oh my God. That was the last thing I bought. Okay, it's usually a food item. 18, are you an introvert or extrovert? I'm an introvert. And at my job, I kind of need to be an extrovert, so I've been working on this since I was in my 20s, and now I'm actually really good at speaking in front of people. So I can, interacting in a big social group is hard for me. I do much better. Once someone knows me, they would never believe I was an introvert, which I think is pretty common, but I have learned over the years to interact because I have to interact with parents all the time, and sometimes I have to speak. I have presented workshops at teachers' conferences, so I've learned to overcome it, but it's still difficult for me. I still just prefer to stay home and be by myself or with a doggy or my guinea pig from school and just watch TV. And anyway, introvert. Number 19, what is your favorite book and why? Okay, my most favorite book of all time is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. I read it when I was first read it when I was about 11. It's a fantasy series. I have always loved fantasy and science fiction books. That's probably my favorite genre of books. But it's in the Chronicles of Narnia series. They made some movies out of them, and I still love them. And I introduced them to my girls when they were little, and they're just amazing, wonderful, and even spiritual books. I only saw those 19 questions, so I added a 20th question, which is, what are your absolute favorite things in the world? I think that's a nice question, and we'll finish the video with that. So, my favorite things in the world are my grandson and my daughters, of course. And I love dogs. I used to be a cat person, but for the last 15 years, I've been a really avid dog lover. I love food. I especially love sweets, which is unfortunate. And I don't have a lot of self-control. But so my children, my grandson, food, I love reading. I love watching TV. Oh, and I'm a SpongeBob collector, as you may have seen from my SpongeBob collection that I was in my previous video that I posted today about my Halloween decorations. I showed my SpongeBob collection. I just love the characters in SpongeBob. I think they're just so funny. So, SpongeBob, my daughters keep saying to me, when are you going to get rid of that? And I'm like, no, I enjoy it. I think those are my absolute favorite things. I love purple, green, and blue. Those are my favorite colors. Oh, I love collecting glass. But it has to be something special, not any glass. Something a little more artistic. Like these glass globes that you can hang in your window. They're not globes, but anyway. I just love, someone had hauled some of those candle holders. And I showed them, I was able to haul them. They were on my wish list. that had little swirls in them. Oh, they were just so beautiful. I just really, really love glass things. But I don't have a lot. You know, I'm very picky about what I like. But anyway, I think that's it. You know, I mean, of course, I could go on and on about things I like, but those are some of my favorite things. So I'm not going to tag anyone specifically because I'm just starting off. I don't know a lot of people yet. And a lot of you that I know have already done this. So I'm just going to say if you want to go ahead and consider yourself tagged by me, you may. I would love to get to know you guys better too. And I'm really excited to be on this YouTube journey. It's being an introvert, it's a real nice way for me to network and meet new people. So thank you, Bonnie, for tagging me. I hope you learned a lot of things about me, maybe stuff you didn't necessarily need to know. I don't know. But anyway, so I will see you with a haul hopefully soon. All right, guys. I love you guys. I'm so happy to have my own little YouTube family now. Take care. Bye-bye.